I'm Todd Summers. Welcome into the Wofford Halftime Show. The Terriers spend a lot of time out here on the practice field getting ready for these football games. But you know what? There's a lot of things that go on off the field as well. We talk to Coach Ayers all the time. We had a chance to catch up with Coach Ayers' wife earlier this week. We spend so much time talking to your husband about football and all the various different things. But from your perspective, the pride that you have and what he's been able to do as a football coach, winning games, but also molding these young men into what they become 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road.
Yes. They become part of our family, and we see them, and we know a lot about their families. We keep up with them. They call us. Now they text us, and we know when their children are born. I mean, their children some are coming to school here now. Yeah, it is amazing.
And we see Mike a lot of times as a tough guy.
Yes.
When he's out on the field and when he's chewing somebody out or when he's, in the heat of the moment.
Right.
He's a lot different than that when he's not on the football field, isn't he? Tell us some stories.
I promise he has a soft side. You just come around when the grandchildren are around, and he is just mush. Because when our first grandson was born, Max, he would be up in the stands, and before the coaches put on their headsets, Max would be yelling, "Mikey, Mikey!" And the first time he did it, the whole sideline turned around and looked, who is calling him Mikey? So they can pretty much, say whatever. They just call him Mike. I guess because I always called him Mike, but they've put a Mikey to it now, so it works.
It's so easy now to see all the success that he had, but let's go way back to when this all started. You're at Georgetown, and then you go to Newberry, and then you go to Richmond, then you come to Spartanburg, then you go to Johnson City, then you come back to Spartanburg. And that's all in about a 15-year time period. Just walk me back to those early years, and maybe at some point where you're thinking, what am I getting myself into? We are constantly on the move.
Right.
Are we ever going to settle down?
Well, I knew Mike in college. We dated in college, so I thought I knew what this coaching was all about. I knew nothing, and luckily I'm a teacher, so I got a teaching job, and that kept me busy. But the recruiting was hard. I'm thinking, you've married me and you're leaving. I saw you more when I was dating you, and so it took some adjustment. But then eventually you say to yourself, you can't live your life with wins and losses. Monday's going to come. It happened. It's over. Just keep going. So I remember that. And then I just remembered, okay, just go to sleep. You'll wake up in the morning.
And you come here in 1988. You'd been here one time before.
Right.
Could you have ever imagined when you came back here that you would be here for 3 decades and counting?
No, and I am so thankful we have been here this long. Not many coaches can say that. There are a lot of things that go with that. There were opportunities to leave, but we didn't want to leave. Our children really played into that factor. They were tired of moving, and when we finally got here, they said, okay, Dad, this is it. This is your last move. And they all graduated from high school here. None of them went to Wofford. The girls were concerned nobody would date them. That's valid. And then Travis had been here with a lot of science camps and everything in the summer. They all just want their space, their own place, and we understood that, so that was no problem.
What's it been like to be a part of this community and see the fans that come out and support this team, and to see the coaches and the various different people that become such a part of this program that they don't want to leave?
I know, and we hope that they don't leave. Some have left, and we have wished them well, and we talk to them all the time. They left for different reasons, but we're just thankful that we can be here and build this program and help these young men in life, because ultimately they're going to graduate from college, and that's what the goal is, and they're going to go on, and they're going to help somebody, and they're going to be a wonderful part of this world.
You say it's not about wins and losses, but he's accumulated a lot of wins. He's got 4 Southern Conference championships, 5-time Coach of the Year. Just the accomplishments that he's been able to do in his career has come from a lot of hard work. But from your perspective, to see the lows that he had, the non-winning seasons, the tough losses,
Right.
but then to see him carried off the field against Appalachian State and to see him
cool.
hold up a trophy that says Southern Conference
Yes.
Championships. What has that been
Yes.
like?
Well, 2003 was our first Southern Conference win, and I mean, it was unbelievable. They were so, and you just remember those moments in your mind when we played Montana in the playoffs, and when we've played Citadel, and all those moments just stay in your mind, and they're just so special. And you hold on to those because there's been a lot of hard work. When we tried to get, wanted to get the Panthers here, we were picking out pebbles out of the grass because Danny said, "Oh, they can't be there," and we're going, "Okay." So we're out there fixing it. So it's a team effort with everybody who works here, and it's a good place, special place.
And coaches' wives, a lot of times, while their husbands are off watching film, getting ready for next week's opponent, they've got to have somebody to lean on. Who is it for you? What is the extended family for you when your husband is gone doing what he does for a living?
Right. Well, the coaches' wives and their families and their kids, we all just hang together. We come down to practice a lot, and we text a lot. We just look out for each other.
And you've all got something in common
We all.
because you all understand that your husband's not there.
Right.
He's out working and doing what he does.
Right.
Now,
Right.
Coach Nash's wife is here. Just how is it for you to, when your husband's gone, lean on your friends that are also in the same situation that you're in?
Well, it's a perfect situation to have people that you can count on that know exactly what you're going through. I've been doing this my whole marriage of almost 15 years, so I don't know much difference. So we just added on some children in the way, and they have so much fun playing together at the games and everything.
And in a lot of the same ways, when you came into this family, how long did it take you to feel like you belonged? You kind of weren't necessarily inside of it from the get-go, but when you got here, how quickly did you feel welcome?
Immediately. Right away, we had people that were texting us trying to go to the park and get the kids together and go to dinner. We immediately, first holiday we had here, the 4th of July, we were invited to dinners. We've gone.
We say you came from somewhere else. Tell us where you came from.
Yeah, we just moved here from Montana in May, and my husband actually had a couple other opportunities very similar to this one, and a huge part of the reason that we chose to come to Wofford was because of Coach Ayers' 30 years of experience and how dedicated he is to the staff and his players, and it's made it awesome for all of us to be here.
And the same thing here, your husband played here, correct?
Correct.
So you kind of knew about this family atmosphere, but when you got inside of it, what has it been like to have these people to lean on, to count on if you need someone to, watch the kids for a couple minutes here or there, just to have that support, knowing that this is a true Wofford family?
Yes, I mean, it's a huge help. It's nice that you have guidance, the women who are veterans who can, guide you along the way, because each year you're presented something new and we figure it out together. And
then welcoming someone, a coach leaves, that means another coach and his family comes in. What's that been like?
It's been wonderful. You get to grow this family, if you will, and you realize that this football family is, it gets smaller and smaller every year, which is, you get more love.